Good morning, everybody. Happy Columbus Day. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. Felt like fall a little bit today, which was nice. I really enjoy cool weather. Makes me feel better. Makes me feel more refreshed. So the markets are open today. And I'm not seeing a lot of action yet from SPY. As we get closer to this squeeze on the daily, it's going to get slower, right? So you can see on this chart here, like, we couldn't get past this bullish sentiment at 439. I mean, it wicked up, right? But it dropped below. And right now, it looks like it might fall back into this channel. Okay, well, here's that significant cross right here on the 13th, 14th, somewhere around there. So I'll be paying attention to that. And we have a lot of earnings this week, but it's a lot of financials. So don't expect, a big movements in the market this week. Now, if we do break above, this, and we stay in this channel through here at this 436, basically over 437, then we might retest 447. So the bullish side would be 447 by the end of the week, and the bearish would be around 429. You could see there was a wick buy here at 434, and it's probably might try to fill up to that, to 437 again. And again, if it gets over 437, then we can play calls on SPY. But if it breaks this line here at 436, I'm actually looking here at 434. That would be a good exit for some puts or sells. That's what I got for SPY. I was looking at VIX too, because I saw VIX gapped up this morning. And that's another thing. It's always important to watch those movements on the inverse. The beautiful thing with Nessie is it's so good at finding any kind of event or condition of algorithms or whatever that are trying to get past a very particular price. And if they don't see that or the line renders there either as a resistance, right? Because it doesn't see that as a buy, or a support where it does, but it just needs to get above that line. So for VIX, getting over 25.40, then we're going to see SPY start going down. If it doesn't, though, right, then our other level here is at $25. So if VIX breaks below 25, that's when we'll start seeing, SPY going up. So we'll watch those numbers today. Over 25.40, VIX SPY goes down. Under $25, VIX goes down, SPY goes up. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. I'm not really seeing a lot. I did see Facebook kind of on the radar. It doesn't look the best on the daily, but I was looking on this 30-minute. Let me find it. And it's still in this green zone right here. So one thing noted, anytime you're playing with these bands, you can see patterns of rejections through these deviations. Essentially, what I'm talking about is these rejections right through here. So, and then when they bought back, right, we're the same levels on the deviation. So if it did fall again, the buyback would be down here about 317, right? Theoretically. Now, if it gets above 332, we know there's a little bit of resistance at 337, but this would be playable, right? Because we're getting out of these deviations. So we were really high up here, right? And now it's spreading. We're getting a little bit of a spread. So if it can catch into this VWAP right through here and start moving up, and get past that 337, then we could see some really good calls for Facebook. So I actually like the slow movement right now. Let's see if we have any bullish looks. Clicking the wrong chart here. All right, there we go. So for 330 is what we need to get over, and 332 we could say that's a resistance too, and then that last 338 is where they took profit. So 332, get over 332, then we can get into some 340 calls for Facebook. Walmart did move up pretty good for us. I did some calls last week, and we got to 140, so that was pretty good. I was hoping a little higher, but it did hit up there on Friday, so that's good. Really, we see our resistance now is at 140. So we get above 140, we can play calls on Walmart. The only reason why I'm saying these is because honestly, the other algos or the other tickers are not really hanging down here, right? They haven't got hit with heavy sells to be down in the green bands. So I'm just looking at the ones that are in the green bands, and Walmart and there's probably some other ones, and that's the thing right now is like the more people that are using the bands, the more eyes we have on these, right? And then we can analyze and get into these cheaper and higher probability price levels, then fall into the trap of a more expensive and the lower probability of price, right? Because as soon as we get up in the red bands, our probability to buy is very low, right? To buy as in you're longing, but to sell, I mean, it's a little high, but it's risky, right? So those are things I always look for. Crypto, like I said, 53,000. That was where we need to stay pretty consistent and hold that new support, and we are, and we're getting closer to that 57,000, right? So there's a little bit of room through here, about 50, 57, 58,000. I think if we can get back into this channel like we did over here, well, this channel here, sorry, these channels that the bands made, where it hit at 47,000 and it climbed up in that channel and it got to 55. Okay, now it's fallen away from the channel, so we have to get back into that channel if we're going to be bullish for Bitcoin. If it breaks the VWAPs, then we're seeing lows, back down to 51,000, right? But it's still cruising in that to the 60,000 zone, I believe. But yeah, I would say anything under 51,000 would be more bearish for Bitcoin. Over 57,000, we're bullish. See if Tesla looks okay today. We see it kind of reacted to the cross, so we'll see what happens. We're still sort of in the red bands, right? So we have to pay attention to that. But remember, if you're using the algorithms like for the bands, remember though, on a higher time frame like we're seeing right here, these bounces that are happening on the red bands are bounces that are happening on the green. Okay, and it's important to know that there's still short-term buyers playing these, right? They're playing the small trade, small scalps, because they know that the IV for buying is still pretty good. Now, if it was down here and it started bouncing, the IV would be, pretty rough for buyers. So that's why option guys are they're taking advantage of this volatility, right? Because there's a lot of people saying that Tesla's going to keep dropping, so they're going to take advantage and get these cheaper buys. Hope that makes sense. So this circle that I did right here, if I go to say a 2-minute, you can see it's in the green bands, right? So short-term buyers is what I'm talking about. So our opportunity to buy into Tesla is when it hits down into the green bands. That's why we're looking at this level here at 778. So if we get back into 778, that might be a good time to get into an entry, because right now we're at 50%, right? It's 50% going up or going down. So it's not a profitable area to buy until we get either to that below that zone, or we find another support where we're going to hold, and if it stays above again, we'll be all right. So this sell that we had on Friday, right, at 793, we would need to get above this 793 essentially to be on that longer call towards 900, right? So we see that there was resistance at 800, that 800 zone. So that might be that area where we need to pay attention to, right? See if there's some demand in that 800 zone, right? Uh, for the price to keep moving up. So we're right on that cross today. If we get past, the 793, then we get to 800, then we see 820 all the way up to 840. So those are the levels I'm looking at. It doesn't look bearish right now, but if it breaks below 778, then it gets bearish. All right. Under 749, then you can start doing your really at under 778, you could do puts, and then when it hits 749, take profit, right? If it breaks 749, you can keep holding, but just know that this is where it's the time to buy again, right? 749 or 750. Let's just say 750. So that's it. For now, as more updates and ticker requests come in for Wednesday, I'll definitely announce those, talk about it. I did want to take a look at XRP, because I just wanted to show you guys that it did hit pretty close to our take profit when we were talking about this at this 124. It did hit really close, right? So those are always noted. So now, right, if we can create these new price levels, this price structure here, $1.10 or whatever, and then the bands start moving this direction, then we'll just assume that the price is going to hit about 113, keep climbing, and then test this 124 again, and then see if it can make new highs. So those are tricks I use all the time with the bands to just get an idea of when the best entry is. And you can do that with any stock. Cool. That's it. All right. You guys be safe. Have a good day. Peace. Like, share, and subscribe. Oh, and shout out to Royals Group. If you want to find me there, I'm in his Discord as well, and I'll provide that link. All right. Peace.